What's happening? Good afternoon, people. It is great to see you. It is late. I am tired. It's been a good day. What's up, everybody? This is your leader. Say what's up. All the leaders say wow. What it do? What it do? We miss y'all. It is going down. Club all over.
Hey, everyone, Andy's coming.
What? So I get left out again because nobody tells me what we're doing. But I think this is the Andy's Coming challenge, and I don't get to participate. Haters. I guess this was like we were a Toy Story toy, and you just like pretend this Andy's coming, and then yeah, this is great. So yeah, we're just gonna keep it pushing. We miss y'all. Haters, look at all the haters all around me because they love you and they want to act like Andy's coming and not tell nobody. That's just fantastic. We love y'all. We miss y'all. We have a great club for you guys today. I'm going to throw it to the person next to me. Oh, wait. No, down here, that way. Carly! I'm going to throw it to Carly. That's the person I'm trying to throw it to. Bye!
All right, guys, we have some announcements for you. So if you're watching this, you're in the right place, but you need to hop over to our Instagram to do a live at 6 p.m. It'll be fun. You'll see your cool leaders. It'll be a great time. Also, we only have one more virtual club of the year. So if you want to win pizza, you need to tune into that. Unless you don't want pizza, but I don't really know why you wouldn't want pizza, so you should still come. And also, we're calling all seniors. We want your senior photos. So text your leader your senior photos. We want them, so send them to us. Pretty please.
Andy's coming.
Okay, one more announcement. We need to see your Andy's Coming video. So, like Zay's and PT's video, find your family, find your friend, get your dog, your cat, your goldfish, whatever it is, and record a Andy's Coming video. Send it to us, and we will pick the top 3 winners to get pizza delivered to their house. Now you get to hear from your friend and my friend, PT.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's PT, and I just want to take just a couple moments to tell y'all a couple stories. One of which is about one of the craziest things that's ever happened in my life. It's the time I almost died. So here's what happened. I used to work at this sports camp back in the day, right, called the Sky's the Limit, and it was awesome. It was dope. We used to be counselors for kids around the neighborhood. They would come, we would teach them all these sports and then send them home. But actually one of the best parts about working about that camp is after camp, we got the outdoor basketball court all to ourselves, just the leaders. So a whole bunch of us would stay after and hoop. And it was cool because the court was like in the middle of nowhere. It was like this full-size basketball court. Then it was just this huge field around it with all these flowers and lilies and weeds. So there's a lot of pollen going around because it's in the summer. But for the most part, that never bothered us, right? The heat didn't matter, the pollen didn't matter. We would just hoop it up. So one time we hooped for a real long time. I'm talking about 2 or 3 hours. I was giving them buckets, but that's beside the point. Okay. So afterwards, we would have to all go like climb over a fence and wait at this bus stop so we could get back home, back to the city. So we're sitting at the bus stop after we got done hooping, laughing about what happened and who was playing well and who wasn't. And I realized about after 10 minutes of sitting there, everybody else had caught their breath, but I hadn't. I was still breathing kind of hard. But, I didn't think nothing of it. I thought, oh, okay, maybe I'm just more out of shape. That's it. So then we wait a little longer, and by the time the bus comes, y'all, I'm full on wheezing, like breathing. Matter of fact, y'all, so we did the Andy's Coming challenge. Y'all remember in Toy Story, y'all remember the penguin at the beginning, the little squeaky penguin that had the wheeze? I sounded just like that. I'm not even kidding. Like, I was so bad that, like, I was freaking myself out, and I was freaking my boys out. But I tried to play it off. Like, you know what? It's nothing. I'll be fine. I just got to get home, drink a little bit of water, right? So we get home. I drink some water. I ate dinner. I feel a little better, so I go to bed. And then I wake up at like 2 a.m, and y'all, I literally cannot breathe. So like I crawl out of bed, I get to my mom's room, I'm like able to get her attention, wake her up. She turns on the light and I'm trying to talk, but I can't. All I can do is point at my throat and cry. And so she got the message. So she rushed me into the car. They rushed me to the hospital. We get to the ER. They rush me to the back. They get me in a room and a doctor comes in, sees that I can't breathe, and immediately jumps into action because he knows what to do. Has a nurse go get this machine. She comes back with the machine. They put all these tubes in my nose. I'm scared. I'm like, man, am I going to make it out of this? And within 10 minutes of having that machine in my nose, my breathing improves a little bit. 15 minutes, improves even more. In about 30 minutes, y'all, I was back to breathing just fine. And I was so grateful to that doctor because he had told my mom that if I had waited another 15 minutes, I would have been dead. That asthma attack would have killed me. And that's crazy because there was nothing I could do to fix myself. I needed that doctor's help. But how weird would it have been if I had got to the hospital, they had rushed me back to the room, I had got to the doctor, he looked at me and said, oh, no. You're actually too sick. What you need to do is you need to leave the hospital, get a little better on by yourself, come back, and then I'll help you. That would be ridiculous because a doctor is supposed to help people who can't help themselves, right? But you know who we have thoughts like that about? Jesus. Y'all, I've been around Young Life for a long time, and even for myself, when I was in high school, one of the thoughts that I always had, I'm not even sure where I got it from, was that in order for me to like meet this Jesus dude or interact with this Jesus dude, I had to fix up all the things in my life that weren't exactly good. But Jesus actually never said that. Matter of fact, in the Bible, Jesus says the exact opposite all the time. And when I tell you a story about a time where he said it like literally plain as day. So it comes out of the book of Matthew. It's Matthew chapter 9, and we're going to start in verse 9. And here's what happened. It says, as Jesus passed on from there, he saw a man called Matthew sitting at the tax booth. And he said to him, follow me. And he rose and followed him. That's crazy. You know how popular you got to be just to see a random dude and be like, hey, come here, come follow me. And they just go. That's how popular Jesus was back in the day. And as Jesus reclined at a table in this house with Matthew, behold, many tax collectors and sinners came and were reclining with Jesus and his disciples. And when the Pharisees saw this, they said to his disciples, why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners? But when Jesus heard it, he said, those who are well have no need for a physician or a doctor, but those who are sick do. Go and learn what this means. I desire mercy and not sacrifice. For I came not to call the righteous, but sinners. So check this out. Back in Jesus' day, he had been doing all this crazy stuff, like healing the sick, right? People who couldn't walk, he gave them their legs back. People who couldn't see, he gave them their sight back. So that would make you a pretty popular dude, no matter what time it is. So Jesus, wherever you went, had this huge following of people who would follow him around all day, every day. And one of those groups of people were the religious people today. Now, don't get this confused. When I say religious, that doesn't mean that these people are God-loving people. It just means they use religion as a way to control people. And they didn't really like Jesus a whole lot because Jesus was coming in and being like, that's really not what it's all about. So these people were always following him around, trying to figure out, okay, let's find some dirt on this man. So Jesus, knowing that he has this huge following of people, goes to a tax collector named Matthew. And back at that time, a tax collector was one of the grimiest people out there. What they would do is their job was to go and collect money for the king. So everybody had to pay taxes to the king. But they would always take some extra to make themselves wealthy. So they were stealing and making themselves rich while making their people poor. So they wasn't very well liked. So the only type of people who hung out with tax collectors is other people who were grimy. Prostitutes, other thieves, other criminal types, just the people you would say, they're not good folks. And it says that Jesus didn't just interact with these folks, but he went and kicked it at their house and was reclining, like laying back. And his boys was there too. So the religious leaders are like, whoa. This guy's supposed to be so holy and so good, but why would he kick it with the people who are sinners? And Jesus' answer is so important. Don't miss this, y'all. He said, yo, people who are well do not need a doctor. It's the sick who need a doctor. And just like that, Jesus said, I came for the sinners, not the so-called righteous, which, by the way, the Pharisees wasn't righteous either, but another time, another story. So I want y'all to know something. Maybe you've been taught, kind of like I was taught, that you got to fix yourself before you can even come and be in this conversation with Jesus or about Jesus. But Jesus is pretty clear. He came for the people who know that they're messed up, who know that their lives are messed up. And I don't know what that is for you. For me, it was lying. That was one of the biggest things for me. There's a long list, but one of the biggest ones was lying. I lied about everything. One time in 3rd grade, I wanted to be cool like my friend Alexander, so I told everybody that my name was Paul Evander. Just a dumb lie, right? But it went from little dumb lies like that to big lies, and almost to the point where I feel like I couldn't stop it. Like I couldn't do anything about it. And the reality is that Jesus says, no, you come here with that. And then I will help you with that. You don't have to be well before you come here. Come here sick. And maybe for y'all are like, still don't know about this whole Jesus sick, well thing. And that's cool. That's all right. But I am going to ask you to do me a favor. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to hit your leader up and say, yo, that whole thing that PT was talking about, what's your story? What were you sick with that Jesus is helping you heal? Tell me more about that. Because the reality is, the only reason your leaders are leaders, and the only reason I'm telling this story is because what Jesus said in this story was true for me, and it's true for them too. So maybe ask them, and they can tell you more about it. Thanks for listening, y'all. I'm going to pray us out. God, thanks for this time. Thanks for each and every one of our folks who are dealing and making it through this quarantine. I pray that they're safe and healthy. And I just lift all this up in Jesus' name. Amen. We'll see y'all later.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk